Hello, friends. This is episode 16.
Hi, I'm Debbie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Ronnie.
And I am Lisa McIntyre. Welcome to Working Wonders. Tonight we're going to be discussing our point of sales and accounting software that we use. And I think, sorry, I almost did it again. Debbie's going to go first today.
Well, we got the intro right today, so you have to all clap and applaud because I think this is the first time I've gotten it exactly right. No pause, just a little hello. Maybe I won't wave next time. We'll see. Anyhow, I'm going to talk about QuickBooks, even though I am not the one who does the accounting or the point of sales is really like, to me, that's always like a store. But I guess I do a point of sales because we do sell balloons to people. So, but I never think of it that way. So Judy's been a bookkeeper, I think, since she's 17 years old. And she's actually working part-time still for the same company all those years later. I will not say how many. And she, so really all the bookkeeping stuff, like she takes care of, even though we have an accountant who takes care of, the taxes and the stuff like that, she's the one who prepares everything like that. I don't do that. I do other stuff, but I don't do that. But we do use QuickBooks, and we don't use the QuickBooks Online. We use the QuickBooks Desktop. And I asked Judy today, I said, okay, so why do we use QuickBooks? Like, I'm happy with it, but like, why do we use it? So she said, it's easy, it's intuitive, it's basic. In other words, it's an uncomplicated system. She says our accountant keeps telling us not to go to QuickBooks Online because it's a little more complicated and it's probably easier because you can look stuff up on your phone and you don't have to do those emergency phones when I'm almost at the customer's house and I forgot to put the address in Waze and I go, Ted, go to my desk, look it up. He says, okay, what do I do? Yeah, go to where it says customer. But even he can figure it out when I tell him on the phone. So it actually is a good system and it is easy and intuitive. But so QuickBooks Online would be better in that sense. But I have, as you may know by now, in general, a desktop kind of gal. If I have a choice between an app that's on my phone and an app that's on my keyboard, I will choose my keyboard 100% of the time unless I'm stuck somewhere. I like it better. I feel more control. I can see the really big screen I have. So we do QuickBooks Desktop. The advantage to QuickBooks Online, as I mentioned last week, is that most of these customer relationship management systems, CRMs, they do not integrate. You can upload the stuff into QuickBooks. In other words, I made sure of that before I took 17 hats, but it doesn't go, you have to do something to get it to do that. Like you have to, I think, download something and then upload it into QuickBooks. Whereas with QuickBooks Online, most of those systems do it like automatically integrated, though I'm sort of saying words I'm not sure what they mean.
So you can't access your QuickBooks Desktop
from my phone,
from your phone or anything.
No, I cannot.
Okay.
I cannot. So like I said, sometimes I'm somewhere and I forgot to take a phone number with me, and thank God my husband's home and I call and make this emergency call. But usually now I try and remember to take the invoice with me in the front seat so that I have it with me. But and I like QuickBooks because as a non-bookkeeper kind of person and a person who really just tries to stay away from that stuff as much as I can, I can create an invoice. I can create a new customer. I can look up reports. I can see what our sales were. I can see if somebody owes us money. I like it. It's very easy for me. And again, as a non-accountant, bookkeeper / mathy kind of person. So I like that very much. I wrote something down, but now I can't read what I wrote.
While you're finding what you're looking for, I just want to say hi to everyone who's watching us. Josh, Christy, Hannah. Dina says that she's not going to be able to stay too long because she's experiencing some really awful weather. I'm wondering if, Dina, are you in the South? I know that there's quite a few tornadoes touching down in Alabama right now.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're not having very good weather.
Safe.
Yeah, get safe. She said she may have to seek shelter. So we'll be thinking about you, Dina.
Is tornadoes the one where you go in the bathtub?
Yeah.
Or the
basement's probably better.
Yeah. Basement's probably better.
I don't have a
hurricanes. Hurricanes are where it floods, and tornadoes are where it's like twisters, right?
Hurricanes
you go in a doorway. You're supposed to go in a doorway. And
that's earthquakes.
That's an earthquake.
Yeah, Yeah, it's an earthquake. You're supposed to be in the doorway.
Hurricanes
Right.
bring tornadoes though too, so
Oh, really?
Not
yeah.
trying to make light of anybody's natural disasters.
No,
Right.
no.
not at all.
Honestly I get hurricanes, twisters, and tornadoes confused because I'm originally from Southern California. So, and I live in Nevada. So it's not something that we get here, but like I'll hear people say like tornadoes and hurricanes. I'm like, wait, hang on. And then like when they start naming them, then I'm like, wait, what's the difference between like this hurricane and that tornado?
And sometimes it's ladies, and sometimes it's men, and sometimes it's every other letter of the alphabet.
Yeah,
anyhow, we digress. We will have an episode maybe on natural disasters.
Right.
Or certainly we'll have an episode on natural balloon disasters. That's for sure.
Right. Both Dina's in Missouri, Christy's in Louisiana, and Christy says that it's bad there too. Dina says, just to clarify, they do go in the basement. So
okay, good.
Okay. Yeah,
I want everybody to be safe.
Yeah, everyone be safe.
Okay, that's the most important part. You can always watch the replay. You won't miss anything,
Oh, did you guys see that Float the Convention YouTube channel reached 100 subscribers today? So
that's
awesome.
right.
Yay.
If you're stuck in your basement, you have what to watch.
There you go.
Replays of everything. Great. I think Tony hit a year of shows. I mean, there's got to be some content there.
Well, apparently he had 50 shows, but he's been doing it for a year.
He only has 48 shows, but he's been doing it for a year.
Oh, because we had a couple Tuesdays without Tony's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's right.
Also, I was thinking about the ones that the discussion
that had to be
the
pulled
ones
down.
that had to be pulled. Did those still get counted?
Well, I think
we're waiting for the actual official count. Steve Jones is going to give us the official count with the ones that the deleted episodes.
Anyway, like to go back to QuickBooks, because we don't want to digress too much. So that's what I like about it. I like about it that it's very easy to use for a novice bookkeeper like me, and it has tons of generated reports and also tons of reports that you can custom make. Like I always like to check. I can check our sales there. You can check. Like who was your biggest supplier and who was your biggest, there's all sorts of pie graphs. I missed it, Pie Day was a couple days ago, but all sorts of different pie. But there's all sorts of pie charts and things. I like it mostly because it's easy. And like if Judy's not around and I want to add a customer and send out an invoice, I can do that. And we're in 2 different locations. So the one thing that we do, which probably, I don't know if anybody else in the audience would have to do, is she always backs up and brings it to me, and then I back up from her backup, because she always has the most current information, because I send her all the
invoices. That's a good idea.
All the invoices that I get, I fax to her still, for stupid reasons, but I fax, not that she gets it as a stupid reason, but we fax it for a stupid reason. But she inputs most of the stuff, and whatever's final is usually going to be her. In other words, if a customer changes something, even if I change it when I do the backup, it reverts to whatever she had. So always make sure that Judy has the most current information. And I gave her way more than a shout out this time.
So I'll piggyback off of Debbie, because I actually use QuickBooks Online. So Debbie actually has the software version, which I would much rather prefer to have the software version, but everybody, my accountant especially, only deals with QuickBooks Online. So I can access it from my desktop. I can also access it from my phone, any sort of device. So I always have access to it no matter where I am. And I do really enjoy that feature of it.
I think I would.
It is nice. Now, I will tell you, it's significantly more expensive than just making one purchase of, I think, to buy the software kit. I want to say it was like $328 when I looked at it.
Something like
QuickBooks,
that.
And QuickBooks Online, if I'm not mistaken, it was for the edition that I have for it. I want to say that it's $79 or $89 a year. I should have that 100%. I'll drop it in the comments afterward. I'll look at my invoice.
That the desktop version, every 2-3 years you have to buy it again. You have to upgrade,
Right.
which is also a couple $100 usually.
Right. Hello, Miss Stephanie.
Costco.
Yeah. Steve Jones has joined us, and he just wants to set the record straight. He said, Debbie, you are correct. Tony does, the official count for Tony is 48 episodes.
Is 48 officially?
So
I paid attention.
yeah, 48 official. Yeah, Debbie, you're right.
Or does that count the ones that didn't get recorded too? Because I know that was a source of contention last night as well.
We want to know the count for the taboo episodes, Steve. So with QuickBooks Online, it's a yearly. You pay that every single year. So whether it's $79 or $89, I'll have to find out for you guys, but I'll drop it in the comments below. QuickBooks, like Debbie said, it is extremely user-friendly. Very, very user-friendly. So if you have little to none accounting experience or bookkeeping experience or anything like that, it's a wonderful tool for you to use. They also have a really great online support system. So anytime that you have a question about something, if you up your ledger, where I have it, where I can just go in and I have accounts that are automatically assigned for things, whether it's equipment, inventory, in-service food, whatever it is, I can just go in and I can type everything. And what makes it really nice for me, like our taxes were just due on Monday for corporate taxes. I literally could just send over my accountant a file. He also, he has access. He only has certain access to things, so I can assign people access. So, he needed to help me with something with my sales tax and I wasn't able to get it. He was just able to log on with his user ID. And with my account, I can have up to 4 people log in. So it does make it nice if you have somebody who comes in who helps you do your bookkeeping. If they're just coming in and helping you, input receipts, if, however you run your office, you would be able to assign them, different levels.
Like limited they could get limited access.
Yes, thank you. I was trying to think of what I was trying to say. So they wouldn't have access to obviously everything that you as a business owner would have access to, but they could still go in and they can help you do what you need to do. It's a really good way to be able to quickly pull up numbers. I know, Debbie, you and I were having a conversation this morning, and within a matter, we
were looking up we were comparing our Januaries.
Yeah. And you can pull up a figure. And it can also tell you, what you spent that month, what you brought in that month, how much sales tax you did that month, so on and so forth.
I just want to interrupt you for a second. There's also, if somebody needs help setting it up, there are QuickBooks experts. My niece is a QuickBooks expert. People call her to set up their QuickBooks in their office. Like if somebody's having trouble and the support isn't enough or doesn't have what they need, or they want to have it set up from A to Z, there are companies that do that. So that's also good to know.
QuickBooks. So my understanding as far as QuickBooks go, because like we tried to do it for our accounting, it is not compatible automatically with a Mac. You have to have a program to convert it, and it was so much trouble trying to set it up that like we just went back to our old-fashioned bookkeeping for last year, and we're hoping to get it set up this year. But yeah, it's but QuickBooks is how you do your accounting, right? Like how do you actually take it in payments from clients?
Well, it's also how I invoice. No, well, we invoice people from QuickBooks. We send them an invoice through through email through the program, and it if they want, there's even a link that says view and pay, and for like $1 you can pay through QuickBooks.
They can pay, and then you can process payments through QuickBooks.
And there's we like that because it doesn't cost as much as a credit card, obviously.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
So we use that feature a lot, and we have found that since we started using that feature, I don't know if it was even available so many years ago, but we only started using it maybe 3-4 years ago. Judy's probably going to correct me and say it was 6 or something, but however many years ago it was, we find a lot of people pay like that.
Yeah. It's convenient. It's nice and convenient. It's the same thing with well, because I know, so with Manager Sal, Lisa, I know with Gigio it uses WePay. That's the processing. Can you set up a different one with with Manager Sal, or can you pick your own payment processing, or is there one that it prefers?
You can set up with, I think, 5 different payment gateways. There's Stripe, which I had never heard of before, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, and Square. You can accept credit cards through all of those, and you choose which ones you're going to allow your clients to see. So whenever I send off an invoice, it says, I accept blank, and I can say cash, check, and these things, or, check or Zelle, or just Zelle and PayPal. So I can pick those particular payment gateways.
Do you know what I found
right.
out? I'm going to interrupt you because you said Square. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, hold on one second. So we are joined by the wonderful Judy Levy tonight, and she wants to clarify that QuickBook processing has gone up to $3 per payment, Debbie. It's no longer $1 per payment.
She didn't update me.
Yes, $3 per payment. Matt Lewis
$3 isn't a lot.
Yes, $3 is not a lot. Matt Lewis is also joining us. He says that we have a great topic this evening. So apparently this is something that a lot of people are going to be interested in. Go ahead, Ronnie. You were talking about Square.
So I found out because I was asking Dave last night to officially say, I was like, okay, what officially is the way that we process our credit card payments? Because I know that every client that we have, no matter how they're paying, gets sent an invoice through Gigio. Unless it's the click one, then that's a separate one. But every single one, whether it's a twisting job, it's a decor, it's a magic, whatever it is, they all get that contract. And then we can put on there if they're going to do check or credit card, and then the credit card gets processed through WePay. Square is squareup.com. Square itself is the little unit. And so I was like, I thought that they were different. I was like, it's Square and Square Up. And he's like, no,
they're the same
thing. I was like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah. And then he goes, because it's squareup.com because it's like you're saying. And I'm like, I was a bartender for 17 years. I worked in a bar. And
like mind blown.
Times are people like, can I square up with you? How did I not see that? Like, are you kidding me? How many times have people said that? And I'm like, I did not put 2 and 2 together until last night. He had to tell me. I was like, I feel so like, duh, it makes so much sense. But yeah, Square is it's the little reader,
the little piece
or
that
yes, it's your device.
The hardware.
The hardware. Yeah.
I was like, oh Lord. I was like, yeah.
So I use QuickBooks and Square in an entirely separate way than Debbie and Judy use theirs. And Judy says that you guys have actually been using QuickBooks since 1999. Since 99, honey.
No, I know.
You've been using it for a long time.
No, I know we've been using QuickBooks for a long time.
The credit card processing.
But the payment processing is relatively new.
Well, if you guys have a flat $3 fee for all payment processing, I'm going to have to look through that, because that is a heck of a lot cheaper than
a 2.9%. The only thing is,
fee.
not everybody wants to do it because you have to put in your check, and you it's like an ACA. So some people say, I don't want to put in my checking information.
Tricky business there.
People are not all interested in doing that. But.
Right. So I use Square as my invoicing, inventory, POS, which is point of sale. For anyone who doesn't know what the acronym is, POS, it's point of sale. Your point of sale system is how you're taking in money, whereas QuickBooks is your accounting system. So, and that's the way that I utilize it. So Debbie utilizes it in a different way than I do. I utilize it for accounting. So the two for me are completely separate. Everything coming in funds wise, everything goes through Square. And then my accounting for the month, when I'm putting in all my receipts, I actually have a storage container that has 12 drawers in it. And so throughout the week, when I'm going to Lowe's and I'm picking up conduit or getting gas in my car or whatever the case may be, I will come in and I will just drop those. And so Monday is my admin day. And then I go into QuickBooks and I put in all of my receipts. And then what I do is I usually just, I'll just do my initials. I'm so used to doing this from McDonald's, like as if, I need to see my own initials.
You have to sign it because you have to know who's
I do
putting
my
in the
initials
processing.
on the receipt, like just a little small at the top corner, so I know that I have them. And then at the end of the year, you have to save all of your receipts for 7 years. I don't know if people know this or not.
Yes.
I think it's legal documents you have to save for 7 years, and receipts and excuse me, sorry, 1 second. Receipts, I believe it's 5. I'm gonna get clarification on that as well. Yeah.
Unless you're like my husband, who has in our attic the very first check we ever wrote.
Yeah, I'm one of those
46
people.
years ago.
Yeah.
Holding on to things is not a problem for me.
Yeah, we keep it for 5 years. We did for a while have a really good system where we had 5 bins. And then once, that 5 year, then we take that bin and we can trash it and use that for that new year. So that way it's always 5 years.
Smart.
I don't know where those bins are now.
Oh.
So it's not that smart. They are somewhere in the house. And it was a really good idea in theory, but you have to then remember where you put all of the 5 bins. So if we ever get audited, I'm sure I'll be able to find them. But yeah, it's going to be a process.
You'll be able to find
I like
them.
that,
not that big.
12 drawer thing. I like that idea. Like that all just because I will admit, and Judy will back me, I'm not so careful about receipts because you get so many of them then online anyway, and I'm just.
I use one of those coupon accordion files.
That's a good idea.
So I open it up, and these are January's receipts, these are February's receipts, and then I can go through and.
But how deep are they? Are they deep? You could probably get the big accordion files also.
You could, but like these are for like if I go to Home Depot or something, it's gonna be
the little ones.
I just take it and fold it and stick it in, and
I think I have to do that.
One. Yeah, they're really great. They're really good for.
This is why. Do you want me to show mine real quick in case everyone's wondering what the heck I'm talking about?
Yeah,
love to see things. We love visual aids.
I know. I think I'm a very visual person, so I think it helps a lot.
Probably
I started getting. I got those the folders like Stephanie uses for mine because I like the way they're so much. Oh yeah, I love those.
Yeah, so I actually have one of those, but
there's a drawer for each month, and then it just makes it super nice, and nothing gets crumpled or.
Yeah, those things are great. I had one of those for my 260s for a while. I had the color one.
I use it for my the rainbow one too. I have the colored one. Yeah, the rainbow one.
I've been looking for an excuse to buy the
here's
rainbow
one. All of my different shades. And then one of them, I needed a black one so I could put all of my like black mocha blush, all those colors in. So I took it outside and I spray painted it. So because it bothered me that the balloons that were in there weren't the color of the drawer. Like I was fine with like, here's all of my shades of green. Here's like the pinks, the reds, but I was like, I need a.
So I have my vinyl, my vinyl colored drawer.
Debbie, Judy says that all of your receipts get stapled to your credit card bill.
I know, that's why I'm not so careful, but she would really like to. She would like to have everything.
I think that we need to have Judy on as a guest one day.
You do, we do.
We need to have
maybe
Judy
when I'm away. She's very shy.
Yeah. I love She'll be the fill-in. She'll be the other Levy.
She's very
shy.
Other Levy. So I don't know.
I like it.
The other Levy. Her camera off, and you'll just hear her.
You'll hear her. Yeah. I always hear Judy in the back of my head.
Yeah. And Matt Lewis actually brought up a really good point, and this is very true. So if anyone is feeling nervous about this, Matt says that he's currently using Sage, but he's going to be switching to QuickBooks within the next year. And a good accountant, which this is 100% true, a good accountant will walk you through and set you up. Right. If anyone has not filed corporate taxes yet, we incorporated for the first time last July 1st, 2020. I filed my corporate taxes. Make those accountants work for you, because the $180 something that you pay to get your personal taxes done is not what you pay for corporate taxes.
Right.
Not anywhere close to it. So pick up the phone and call them when you need them.
Well, that's somebody we were talking about in like one of our production meetings. I was like, I just pull all the receipts, and then I can't remember who said it, but they were like, do you just show up with a bin at your accountant's office? I'm like, I don't think you understand. I don't know. And I was like, I don't think you understand how much we pay our accountant. Yes, I show up with a bin, and I'm like, here you go. And I don't feel bad at all
realize
because we are paying a whole lot of money.
But you would pay less if he didn't have to go through all those receipts because you probably pay him by the hour.
I don't know.
It's
you don't pay him by the hour?
He is not
I
paid
almost
by the
died.
hour.
Oh, okay.
I delivered mine. Mine was nice and neat and literally had a bow on top of it, and it was over $1,200. So
the first few months were like the first like maybe 3 months were nice and organized and separated, and it was like, here's like our Walmart receipts, our IKEA receipts, all these things. Now I'm just like, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Sorry.
Judy has declined our offer to come on as the guest on the show. She says, no, thank you.
I told you she's shy.
So one of the things that I do want to bring up with us talking about the way that we process payments is because of all of the different systems that are out there. I definitely think that one of the things that I want to put out there is that no matter what, make sure that you're reading the agreements for any kind of processing. We stopped using Zelle as a processing because Dave's mom actually was like, hey, did you guys read these things on here? And like, what the different things that it says that they're allowed to do? And when we read it, we're like, oh no, we do not like this at all. So we stopped accepting Zelle. We are converting.
What do they do? What is it that
they Zelle says in their contract that they can actually sell your information, like in your that's like the simplified version of it. And I was like, I don't like that.
And your customers' information too, right?
Well, because the customer would set like they would
because
they would sign up for Zelle also, and I'm like, that bothers me. I don't like that because I don't like the idea of somebody paying for something and then it coming back to that's the reason why. So I'm like, nope. Everything that we have separate business titled accounts and personal accounts. So like, for example, I have Cash App. I have one Cash App that is strictly Vegas Balloon and one that is Ronnie the Balloon Girl. And that's, I started doing the separate because it's like, okay, if it's something that I'm just, like, oh, my friend and I went out for sushi and she's just going to Cash App me some money. I don't want that going into the business. Like that's you and me having, you're giving me money for something. But if it's, they're paying me or they're tipping me and they want to Cash App me the tip, that goes to Vegas Balloon. We have it for Cash App. We have a Venmo. We have there's another one that we have, PayPal. So we have all three of those are separate. And if there is an option to do a business account, we make sure that those accounts are titled as business accounts. And that way also it's like, nope, that you are sending that to a business for whatever reason. And then that way, everything that goes in there, including any gratuity, is made sure to be accounted for at the end of the year. Again, I make my accountant work hard, but we do make it easy. So there is a bit of a separation there. And we only started doing it because somebody was like, hey, can I send you a tip, like, through Venmo? And I was like, I don't have Venmo for my business. I'm like, oh, I need to do that. That's something I need to do. They will, starting April 1st, they're going to start doing with the business Venmos where they're actually going to be like charging a processing fee and things like that. But that's fine with me. If they take a little bit of money, whatever, that's my business,
So
account.
I'm not sure if our Zelle is business Zelle, but it goes into our business account.
All of the you can hook it to any type of account.
You can attach it to any kind of account. It's the email and the username are all the business email username. So anything that gets processed through that, I get that email. And that's just one of those things that I was like, oh, because the customer wanted to send a tip, and I'm like, I want to make sure that everything is accounted for, even gratuity.
Well, I have every once in a while somebody pays us through Zelle and they pay it to Debbie at Inflated Creations, and my husband said, why did we get $365 from so and so? And I say, oh, I have to send that to the business account.
You got to send it back.
So I Zelle it from my personal account to the business account so that it's there.
We don't deal. I don't deal with Zelle. at all. Pretty much everything now goes through Square, like 100%. I don't
I
do
just
Venmo.
hate those fees.
I don't do,
it makes me
you
crazy.
know, I kind of chalk it up to it's the cost of doing business. Like you have to go back through your prices of what, you know,
Right.
you have to know what your projected fees are. You have to know what your cost is. That all goes into your overhead. Even if you're a home-based business like myself, you still have to know what, you know, what you're paying out, what's expected of you. So I have all of the equipment. We have Square chip readers. We actually just got a register so I can actually print people out paper receipts because we've started to do a lot of in-person events with our stuffing balloon events. I will tell you, Ronnie had briefly touched on, and it's great advice. You really have to make sure that you're reading
The
the
agreement.
fine
Terms of
print,
service.
the
Yeah.
fine print.
Yeah, the
Yes,
terms,
the terms of service. I got myself into a situation when we first started in business. I set up myself with a business PayPal account. And I did not have the PayPal account set up to where they like ran credit on me. I didn't apply for that. We weren't incorporated yet. I was just a DBA. But I set it up as a business account. So everything was still being accounted. I always have paid taxes on all of my money that I've earned. But the thing that I did not realize until I got my very first big paying job, and we're not an in-person business. Like I don't think really a lot of us are in-person businesses. If you manually enter a customer's card, anything over $1,000 gets held for 30 days. They release the first $500 of the transaction and they hold the entire remaining amount for 30 days. As a business, when I think back to when that happened to me a year and a half ago, that was detrimental because when they're holding $3,500 of your money, I barely had enough money to do the job. Like we had to front the cost for the truck. This is when I was still renting a U-Haul truck. It barely covered the amount that I needed for the materials. And I didn't know that. And so that was a really hard lesson that I had to learn. And immediately after that is when I started looking into other POS systems. I was like, I know that PayPal is not going to work for me with my business. It was a very hard lesson to learn. I specifically called multiple different companies and got on the phone with representatives. I explained to them, I am going to be manually entering cards. What is your holding time on manually entered card entries? Square was the one that I found that had the lowest percentage that, when you manually enter somebody's card, you get charged a higher percentage. It costs more money to do that. I wanted to see what that percentage was because some of them it's a pretty significant difference. I think it can range anywhere from 0.5% even up to like 1.3%. I was finding in some of the merchant services, some of the processing fees. So you really have to do your due diligence and make sure that you're going to find something that one, you can afford, and two, is going to be feasible for your business because they really aren't all feasible.
Right. Let me ask you guys a question. We got approached by a merchant services, the credit card processing a few months ago. And
through a bank?
I don't even remember, but they, instead of charging you the fees, they automatically, like if I charge $250, they automatically charge the customer, I know I'm making up a number, $254.75. So it's not, and they take that, and we didn't do it because it seemed like a little dishonest to me. Like, it's not dishonest. They get the fee. But I thought I'm constantly going to have to be explaining to my customers, by the way, the bill is going to be a little higher because the credit card company has taken some of your money.
It's just not professional.
Like I should absorb that as my cost of doing business.
Yeah,
it's not professional.
It's hard when you have to go, it's 250 plus credit card fees. And then if you don't know, like if that company decides to up the credit card fee, even if you give them that total, if you say, oh, the total is going to be, 250 plus the credit card fee, it's 256. It's this, and then it's more, they're going to be like, what's going on here?
Right. I mean, that's so different. Have you guys ever seen when you go into a physical, brick and mortar store and they have a sign and it says, you can't use your credit card unless it's on an order of $25 or more. I'm like,
minimum. Yeah, you have.
That is the cost. That's the cost of doing. That's the cost of doing business. To me, that's equivalent to people asking their customers to send them money, family and friends, or Venmo me the money to my personal Venmo account.
Right.
That is so unbelievably unprofessional. You cannot do stuff like that. If you want to be perceived as a business professional, you have to act accordingly. And sometimes that means that you gotta eat some of the cost. That's a cost of doing business.
And put all that in your pricing. That really goes back to the pricing episode, where it's like the reason why you're going to tack on an extra $5 to a column is because that there's going to be some processing fee on there. And that all comes with, how do you want to do it? Do you want to just have that in there? Or do you want to have that conversation with the clients? Do you want to tell them like, hey, it's this plus this plus this? Like, it really depends on how much you want to have to tell the client versus what, like, so that way they have all of that information. Is the last thing that you want to do is not give them that information, thinking that they're going to know. And trust me when I say it is unbelievable how much stuff people don't get. They don't get it. And it's like, how do you not understand that that's how the world works? Well, they just don't for whatever reason. That's that.
Real quick,
we can go into a whole nother episode about that.
Going back to our accounting. So Denise Seymour, I hope I'm saying that right. Seymour. She says that her accountant only looks at her P&L and her balance sheet. So she's got her stuff down to a science.
Yeah, that's
good job, Denise.
Yeah.
Good job.
I couldn't tell you what the accountant looks at because Judy meets with him.
Those are probably the most important. I don't know, Denise, how long have you been in business for? If you've been in business for quite some time, the sheets that you have to look at. I think for me, I gave him everything because I wanted him to really go through with a fine-tooth comb to make sure. I don't mess with the IRS. That is not somebody that I would tangle with. I'm not afraid of very many things. The IRS, I am.
You haven't gotten that call, that spam call? This is the IRS. We have a warrant out for your arrest.
Yeah, we get it. Yeah,
every day. Yeah.
Well, and we
I
give
did.
them, like, so.
Oh, Denise.
Something. Oh, wow. Go ahead.
Yeah, she's been in business for 35 years, so she knows what she's
doing. She knows. Yeah.
She's got it down.
And she hasn't spent any of that time in prison.
She knows what's going on. She's like, I picture her like walking into the accounting office and she's like, listen, I'm paying you $275. These are the 2 sheets of paper you need, and don't try to pull any crap with me. Like, that's what I want to get to with my accountant.
Here you go.
She's also says that she uses QuickBooks Live. So
good to know.
Yeah.
There you have it.
QuickBooks online?
Yes, QuickBooks Live. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it's called. Okay.
Well, one of the things I know, Lisa and we were talking about this in our production meeting. Debbie, you were there too. One of the things we were also talking about was what I like about using PayPal and Venmo is that I get a card. So Venmo has the same card like PayPal does. And anything,
it's got a MasterCard symbol on it and everything.
And you can use that to process bigger orders. So I started using Venmo for Business when I budgeted myself and I knew exactly how much money I had to go to a convention. So the second time that I went to Twist and Shout, Dave and we had a discussion and he's like, you cannot spend a whole bunch of money at this convention. And I was like, I'll do what I want.
You're not the boss
of me. We came up with an agreement and I was like, here's what we'll do. I'm going to put any money that I'm going to spend on balloons or on food or on booze. And I'm going to put that all on my Venmo. And that way it's separate from everything else as far as any of because I don't have my Venmo connected to the bank account. We have a separate Venmo that's connected to the bank account because I'm just so paranoid that if I lose that Venmo card, that people are going to be able to withdraw from my bank account. It's never happened to me, but it's happened to plenty of other people that when I went to that convention, I literally left all of my other credit cards at home. And I had, obviously Apple Pay on my phone. So if I had emergency money, that was my Apple Pay. I only took that Venmo card with me and I was able to get my Starbucks and my 15 pounds of balloons.
And count it as a business expense.
And then everything was recorded from.
But it was very.
And I had those receipts, and that way I could separate out also because we talked about a per diem when we're
Oh
going
my
to these
goodness.
conventions and things.
Oh, wow.
But I did it.
Pay
I did it
yourself a per
separate.
diem? Ooh,
Yeah.
cool.
Ronnie, let me
I had
interrupt you
myself
real
budgeted
quick
for that.
because
I
I
have to
want to
write that down.
clarify.
Lisa, is it a debit card or a credit
No,
card?
it's an actual
works with both.
MasterCard. It says, well, it does say business debit on it, if you can see that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
MasterCard. It's got a
A chip?
Got the chip
a
reader.
chip in
Yep.
it, and I'm not gonna flip it around because you'll see my number.
No, but you can. But you put in.
Everyone
when,
gets
I'll
when
a
take
you
a
set it up.
screenshot real quick.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, when
Hey,
you set
I
it up,
just
you
want to
set up
clarify.
a pin.
Yeah, so I am mistaken. QuickBooks Live and QuickBooks Online are two totally different things. QuickBooks Live, Denise says they do your bookkeeping for you, and she has a once a week appointment over the phone that she talks to
Ooh.
a bookkeeper. She said it's $400 a month. They do quarterly taxes and entries.
That's like the
Nice.
service that I was talking
Good,
about.
yeah.
But that's why she
That
doesn't
is
have
like
to give
cheaper
her
than paying an
accountant.
employee.
No,
That
but
is
that's,
cheaper than paying an employee.
but
Yeah.
that's why she doesn't have to give her accountant much,
Right.
because his company arranges
It's a,
everything.
yeah, they do.
Wait, I have
everything
another
for you.
question about
That's
that
great.
card, though.
I'm sorry, Ronnie. Yeah.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine.
I don't know, Ronnie or Lisa. Is it like a regular credit card that does it have to have money in your PayPal account to cover what you
Yes.
spend? Or
It's
is it
not a
like a
credit
regular
card,
credit
Deb.
card
It's a
that you just,
debit card. It's
Yeah.
a debit card.
it's a debit card?
Yeah. So
Well,
I
ours-
have
and
one
we
for
have-
Square.
Mhm.
Yeah, Square has one too. So like you can use it for purchases. You have a PIN number and everything. But like
Yeah.
if you don't have a balance in there to cover your transaction, it's not going to go through. It'll get declined.
Oh, okay.
Well, we have ours set up so that for the business one, it will cover from the bank account. So if we run it, it can be run as a credit card. And then if we don't have the money in the PayPal, it will take from the bank
That's
account.
like an overdraft
So-
protection.
Yeah, so
Right,
it can work as a credit card, but it is a debit card. Venmo, I have that one set up as just a debit card. So if the money is not there, it's not pulling from any place else. Like that's it.
And the PayPal one, you can do either way. Lisa, how do you?
You
have
can do
yours
either
set
way.
up?
Yeah, I have it so that way I personally do not have my PayPal attached to any bank account
Okay.
other than to pull money out. It never deposits money into an account. So that's like my slush fund, if you will. I use it to pay for conventions, plane tickets.
Booze.
I buy equipment. Generally not buying booze. I have people buy it for me. I have
Me
you know,
neither.
all my business expenses I try and put on this, and so it's always taking from that balance that I have.
And it makes it
and-
easy to do your accounting afterwards.
Exactly,
definitely
because I'm
helps. Yeah.
lazy.
And we were so good about that our first year, and said like last year we got so bad at it that we were like, we'll just figure it out at the end of the year. But
No,
it's
but
a
it's
really
so
good
hard
idea
to
to
do
have
that.
one designated card to be like, this is our spending card. Like I definitely see the difference. Here's the thing though, you guys know I'm very spoiled, and I have Dave, and so Dave is like, I gotta do the accounting, so like he
We
locks
have
himself
Judy. See, we
in
have
his
a
room, for like a week before.
Am I still frozen?
No, you're
Oh,
unfrozen.
You're
now.
back.
Okay, good.
Uh,
Okay.
Yeah.
We're having crazy. I can't see any of you guys, but I pulled up
You're
my desktop,
frozen.
so hopefully
We
you
can
guys
see
can.
you.
Oh, geez.
There you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
So
good.
so Dave will
We're
lock himself
we're
in the
having
room
like
and
crazy wins.
oh gosh, like he'll go through and he will sit there and line by line with the Bank of America statement, like that was business, that was business,
Oh.
that was business. And then he goes to like, he's like, okay, I need your PayPal statement. So then I pull up my PayPal and I print it up for each month. And then he'll go through and I'm like, can we just use one card? Wouldn't that be great if we just like did that all the time? It'd be wonderful if we did that all the time. We don't, because we're dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we have separate business. I think that Judy and I started out that way because we were not a couple in that sense. And, my husband was not going to say, okay, why did you buy this? We always had a separate bank account and credit cards, and it all goes to that because it's just easier to, keep it separate.
Yeah, I use my PayPal credit card for everything now. I got it right around convention season in the beginning of the year last year. So it's not not been really useful as far as keeping track of my business expenses because of just the timing with the pandemic. But if I were to purchase something on this and it did not have a balance anymore, it would come from I could set it up so it's coming from my checking account or my actual credit card. And where I'm loving that idea, not that I really want to run this all the way down to that I have no balance, is that even though I'm charging things to my credit card, I'm pulling it out of my checking account, it's being accounted for on this. So at the end of the year, when I'm pulling together all my stuff to go to my accountant, it's all on one thing.
And when you use PayPal, you get 1% cash back.
Yes.
So that's definitely like when you're buying your big equipment and everything, getting that 1% cash back, like that's a huge thing. Like that's definitely one of the benefits.
We should probably have a show on different credit cards and what works. I think we lost. Is Stephanie still there, or?
I don't know if you can. You guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Your picture.
Yeah, but we can hear.
Yeah, I can see myself frozen on the screen, but I can hear all you guys.
Okay, we can hear you too, which is good because we want to talk about our. It's still National Women's Month, so we want to talk about women.
Yeah.
Now Ronnie's frozen. I don't know. At least it's you and me, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, am I frozen?
No.
Oh no, now you're not frozen.
Oh, okay.
I see everybody, but Stephanie is a blank screen.
Yeah, Stephanie is blank.
Oh,
that's okay. We can hear you, Stephanie. Do you want to go? Do you want to go first?
Talk about your woman?
Yeah, I do want to talk about my woman. Well, can you guys hear me okay? Will you stop me if I start breaking up?
Yeah.
Okay. So the person that I'm going to recognize this week is Carolyn Truby. She is the owner of Truby Loons. Carolyn is also a Qualitex instructor. And the thing that I find absolutely fascinating about Carolyn is that she was an attorney prior to becoming a balloon professional. She decided to get into balloons. She started doing them for her daughter's birthday. I want to say that it was her 16th birthday. And she absolutely fell in love with it. Carolyn has made some of the most beautiful designs everything that Carolyn does is sellable, which is why I really am drawn to her work. She has absolutely beautiful pieces. She considers herself to be a deco twister and just a really cool instructor. So if you ever have the opportunity to take one of her classes, her teaching style is great. She's very informative and very highly awarded, lots of accolades behind her name. So yes, Carolyn Truby.
Is she the one who developed the flat arch or just popularized it? That's not the right word.
So I'm not sure, and I tried to look it up. I know that it's definitely a lot. She does them a lot. I don't know. I couldn't find any like facts saying that she was the one who developed it, but I don't know. Maybe somebody knows.
Okay, just curious. Who wants to go next?
I'll
next.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. I was going to talk about Stacy Wheeler. She is amazing. Some of you guys may have taken some classes with her, with Nate Culpepper. They are a balloon collective out of Austin, Texas, and Stacy is just amazing. I've been friends with Nate for many years now, since my first convention. And 1 year at Twist and Shout, he brought his girlfriend with him. And he's like, this is my girlfriend Pineapple. That is her nickname. And she's amazing. You're going to love her. And boy, do I. It was her first convention, and she made a dress. She made the most adorable spring green dress with the little flowers around it, and she was rocking it, and just amazing. And this woman she is smart. She's incredibly smart. She's got all kinds of scholastic, achievements behind her, and speaking other languages and living in other countries, and just like, and she's applied that to the business of balloons. And I hate saying this because she's like considerably younger than I am, but when I grow up, I want to be a lot like Stacy Wheeler. She is just really, really amazing. She's got her head on straight.
Yes.
She deals with all of us creatives so well, and just truly a kind spirit. So
Yeah.
love you, Stacy. Who's
Such a
next?
sweetheart. I love Stacy.
You
Who's
go.
next?
Oh, good Lord. Okay, I'm gonna butcher her name, and I'm so sorry. I want to talk about Jackie Achatois.
That's
Did I
right.
say it right?
That's it.
Did it?
CBA. And Jackie is one of the first people that I actually found when I was learning about balloons. I found her on Instagram, and I was like, look at these adorable pieces that this person is making. And it's so cute because I was like, she makes the most adorable balloons. And then I saw a video of her, and I was like, she is stunning. And I hate to make it, about looks, but I was like, how can somebody be so amazingly talented, so nice to share all of this information? And then she's like teaching all over. I was like, she is traveling all over, and she's doing all of these like big things and little things. And I got to meet her for the first time, and just talking to her, I was like, how can somebody be like so talented and so nice? And that's
So
one
nice.
of that's definitely
Yeah.
one of the themes that I've learned from a lot of the, like, first from the twisters. Like, that's just something that I cannot believe how many twisters, when you meet them at a convention, you might know each other from Instagram or from Facebook and from some of the groups, and they're just so nice off the bat. And she was like, I had said something, and she was like, oh, come here, let me show you how to do that. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, come on, I'll show you in the jam room. And I can't remember what it was. I think it was the little pineapple that she had made. And I was like, that little adorable pineapple was so cute. Like, I don't know, I have to learn how to do that twist that you do. And she was like, come on, I'll show you. I was like, what? And it was
That's
just that
funny.
it was inspiring to me, not just Jackie, but like Molly did the same thing, and Stacy, and all of these incredible women that I'd met through balloons, who were like, no, you're going to learn how to do this right now, let's go. And we'd go to the jam room, and they're like, there you go, like, now you know how to do this, now you can take that information and you can build on it. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I wanted to cry, because I was like, Jackie is showing me how to do this, oh my gosh, like, this is amazing.
Right.
And I have to tell you, whenever I use the little faces, I love when I make a little character and I use her cute, I can't remember what they're called. They have a name.
Yeah.
But the little faces that she makes, like, I'll make it, and the fairy tutorial, like, if you don't have it, get it. And I'll make it, and I'll just hold it up, and I'll be like, oh, Jackie, look what I did. She's in Canada. She's nowhere around. I'm like, look, Jackie. Like, if I make something cute, I'm like, oh, Jackie, look how cute this is. And so Jackie's like my imaginary balloon friend that like hangs out me when I twist things. And I'm like, oh, like, Jackie, look at this. Or like,
It's
Oh my
incredible.
God, that is so
she's
funny.
so incredibly talented. But yeah, it's so funny. Dave one day was like, who are you talking to? I was like, invisible Jackie, I guess. I don't know.
Jackie.
I didn't
It's
realize I was
Jackie.
doing it, but it's like, it's Jackie, and I think it's because I'm using the little
I think
doll
she
faces,
also
and
like
it's
developed.
so cute.
She developed like that hair, like that. She has a very distinct,
The
Yeah,
long,
the beautiful
beautiful
hair, and
full
it's
hair, like I
oh
wish I
yeah,
had kind of hair.
like if you
Maybe I should wear
don't
balloon
have,
hair. That would be.
I wish, I want to figure out how to make the mermaid hair. I just absolutely love it, and she's amazing, and she's talented, and she's inspired me to know that it's like, it doesn't matter what it is, it can be adorable, beautiful, and structural. Like, it can be all of those things. And it doesn't matter if it's a small piece or a big piece. It's those little tiny details that she adds to things where you're like, you wouldn't think that extra little curl there would make such a huge difference. And it does. And when you add that little curl, you're going to be like, ooh, Jackie, I got it.
Imaginary Jackie.
Imaginary Jackie.
Wait.
So I have a fun fact.
I do have a straight jacket in this house, by the way.
Am I frozen again?
I don't.
A
Yeah,
little bit, I
we
think.
can hear you.
but we can hear you. I want to talk about Peggy Williams, who is
Yay.
also just. First of all, she's just an incredibly nice person. I Googled her today, and I don't think this is her, but do you know that there's a clown named Peggy Williams who started Barnum and Bailey started a health thing for children and taught them how to juggle filling balloons with rice.
Aw.
So if it is our Peggy Williams, please let me know, because that's like really cool. But I've met Peggy mostly through classes that she's taught. She worked for Burton and Burton for many years. Now she works for E&R Sales. She's been, I think it said 30 years of expertise in teaching, and anybody who's ever gone to a Peggy Williams class has heard cha-ching and has heard Mrs. Jones. Those are her two very famous things that she uses to teach you to use money. And I'll tell you a very funny Peggy Williams story. I was in a class with her, and she was building a Christmas tree. And she looks around, she points right at me, and she says, "You can make money with this." And I turned to her and I said, "I don't think so." And then she turns it upside down and she says, "Hang it from the ceiling. You can make money from this." So she's just,
Like,
besides promising me the first bar mitzvah in Lizard Lick, or Lizard Gulp, no, Lizard Lick.
Lizard Lick.
She's an incredibly talented person. She's an incredibly gifted teacher, and you never fall asleep in a Peggy Williams class. And she's been an inspiration to me. I've learned so many things besides the Christmas tree from her. Judy and I went to a class that she gave with Eddie Hayland in Philadelphia for Burton and Burton. Oh, and with Melissa, and the three of them. It was just, we were laughing the whole time, and you're learning and laughing, and I think that's like the best combination. So if she is that clown, that would be like over the top, but I don't think she is. But it was just so cool. There's all sorts of Peggy Williams, and this one had like a few things. She fills balloons with rice to juggle, so kids should be moving around. And she started that program for Ringling Brothers, but somehow I think that's just a fantasy I have. But Peggy Williams is an inspiration. First of all, to be in this business for so long and still invent new things that you can teach to oldies and newbies is a real credit, and she's a credit to women everywhere. So that's
Tammy Schroeder says that the Airbnb, I'm assuming that's Barlin and Bailey's.
Yeah.
Peggy Williams. The Peggy Williams is also the first woman road clown.
Oh wow.
The Peggy Williams that you're talking about.
Oh, the other one.
The other one.
The Ringling one.
She's an expert in event planning and motivational speaking, which is really the way she teaches. And I don't know if you've ever seen any of her pictures online, but she has a beautiful family also. And she's just a really nice person. So I wanted to give a little shout out and salute to her.
Awesome.
Yay, I admire her greatly. Yay. And now I'll for sure get that first bar mitzvah in Lizard Lake, because I stopped up. Anyway, while I'm talking about teaching, let me tell you about the next thing up in the Float Network. I'm really looking with gas today. First of all, whoever was at Jeff Kelly's class yesterday, it was tremendous. He was so on top of things and so organized in how he taught, and gave over an enormous amount of information. So for those of you who are part of have already paid for Float, or even I think made a partial payment, you'll be getting the replay soon and the ability to buy it. And for those of you who are not, you'll still be able to buy it in a little while. It'll come up, and it's not a real expensive video. It's $30, and he had a wealth of information on supercharging your website. And the next thing coming up is on Tuesday, April 20th at 6 p.m. And I know these people, and I didn't write down their name. It's the Lamberts from Lambert's Treasure, and they're going to be teaching about vinyl. And it's
awesome.
It's $20 for Float attendees and $30 for everybody else. It hasn't gone. I don't think the emails have gone out about it yet. Though I might have missed it, Stephen. If I did, I'll look and I'll check and I'll find it.
I think I think we can order the class in the new T-shirts on the Float store. You can get them in
the orange store for sure. But usually there's also like an email to register if you're already registered for Float. But they've been in business also a long time, and I'm sure they're going to teach us lots of vinyl tricks. So everybody look out for that and sign up, and every single
That's a great class.
That is a great class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adding vinyl, just that little personalization is such a huge thing to add to stuff, like definitely well worth it to know how to do it.
It for sure
Yeah.
has.
Yeah.
All right. Well, looking forward to it.
That's the next thing.
Ronnie gonna do disclaimer today or no?
Yeah. As Stephanie, did you see Steve said that the digital downloads are $50, not $30.
$50.
Oh, I'm
not
so sorry.
30.
It's because when
Sorry.
you buy it, it's 30. But I'll tell you, it's worth the 50. Because
it is worth
definitely.
$50.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of
chock
information in
full
that
of
class.
information. It really was.
And especially if you're looking to build a new website, or even just to just little bits that I picked up on there. I was like, ooh, I did this. Ooh, I need to do that.
Yeah.
It was
supercharge your
nuggets,
website.
for
It was
sure.
such a huge thing. Like, even if you have an established website, like the tips and
there
tricks
were
in
all
there
sorts of
are great.
little tidbits. It was very valuable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Steve, I had the wrong price.
Yeah. Well, and as always, everything that we talk about here is mostly our opinions and the way that we do things. We're not telling you how to run your business or exactly what to do, except, have a good St. Patrick's Day. I will tell you, you have to do that. You must, from now on, even if you were having a bad day, rest of the day, you're having a good day.
Yes. Cheers.
That's it.
Okay, so I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. We love having you guys join us live. So come on back next week on Wednesday at 8 Eastern Standard Time, where we will be discussing social media. We're going to have a few episodes on that. So you guys will find how we run our social media accounts. And we'll be talking about more than just, the basics. So Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, all those goodies. So we'll see you guys in the next couple weeks for those subjects. All right. We'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.